Tonight on this stage and around the room, you'll see some of our game's most memorable moments. They show what makes our sport so special, so raw, unpredictable, and unfiltered. And as I can tell you well, you certainly can't script it. Fans can and they will debate the moments. They'll debate them fiercely. But what you can't debate is the music. The slow build of those early beats, the lyrics, the goosebumps. It's a great song for a great game. It's the most iconic soundtrack in sports history. It unites, it excites, and it inspires. It made football sexy, it made it real, and it made people fall in love with our game. The music, the message, and rugby league are still
It ain't no good getting low down when you're looking to get thrown in a can. Like driving 90 miles an hour, getting speeding tickets from the man. But I'm just mad about this girl, but she's gone and I'm mad at the world. I just laid a patch of rubber down the road about a quarter mile long, cause I'm all fired up, I'm all fired up and lonesome.
More fired up?
No, Fire Up's quite Australia, Stephen. We're in 2020.
Damn, I'm 1 year behind.
Are you feeling unwell right now?
Very unwell, Chris. Very unwell. For a
Bit
man of my
feverish?
performance levels, very Jesus Christ.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't think I'm leaving this bunker for some time now, Stephen. I think I'm trapped here.
Let's look. We are broadcasting this. If you're listening to this now, it could well be we don't exist anymore.
That's right. If you're watching this video and hearing this audio,
Yeah.
we may have vaporized, as many are as a result of COVID-20.
It came so quickly, without notice, this warning about where we stand right now, Chris, which you'll explain in detail. I hadn't had a chance to buy the sardine cans. I haven't got any stock soup, Campbell's, and least of all, toilet paper, Chris.
Yeah, well, you know.
We are secluded in a bunker. We're lucky to get any air here.
You can see from the vision there's no products on shelves behind us.
No, nothing.
You a Campbell soup guy? Is that what you would do?
Yeah, I don't mind that. Yeah, absolutely.
okay.
I like soup. I trust canned food. I think if you can snap freeze something, for example, or you can put it straight into a can, I'm happy with it coming from source to plate.
I've had fresh pineapple.
Yeah.
And I've had canned pineapple.
Yeah.
There's no comparison.
No beetroot.
Oh,
Chris, come on.
you can't have beetroot naturally. It's going to come out of that can.
So, look, we just got the word from the NRL. What's the official statement, Chris?
Well, at the time that we're recording this, Stephen, there's an announcement from the NRL that's imminent. Peter V'landys has said that they're going to go to every means possible to keep rugby league going, even if it means playing in empty stadiums.
He's a man of action.
He is a man of action. There are rumours, of course, swirling around that maybe all sporting gatherings, and indeed gatherings of more than 500 people, will have been cancelled by the time you hear this, Stephen. But we don't know that because we're secluded in this bunker and we can't get out.
We're just taking orders, Chris.
We are just following orders.
As far as we know, V'landys could be a Trojan horse set up to destroy rugby league and keep racing going.
And I tell you what, there's one thing that we do know. If you look at pecking order, there'll be politicians. Above that, there'll be the New South Wales Health Department and the senior medical officials.
Yeah.
But above that will be Peter V'landys.
Yes, of course.
And if V'landys says league and racing goes on and all other public gatherings are cancelled, so be it.
So be it. We'd be happy with that. But in the meanwhile, we have been forced into this bunker, and we are broadcasting as much as we can to help the people of Australia who love rugby league.
The quiet Australians, Steve.
The quiet ones.
Those that don't have a voice. Those who don't follow AFL.
Yes. Now, I am just suggesting that with this shutdown of not the game, just the attendance to the game, correct? At this point.
Well, at the time of recording, Stephen. I mean, it's very interesting because at the time of recording, the next game was the Cowboys opening up their beautiful Western Queensland stadium with Valentine Homes.
Yep.
And won't Jonathan Thurston feature? There'll just be, the lights will drop, there'll be portentous music, and actually arriving by helicopter.
That's what I thought.
Will be a massive set of headgear.
Yes.
Right. To symbolise Jonathan Thurston, who then just walks as a single figure onto the park carrying a replica of the Summons Proven Trophy.
And Chris,
or is it the Proven Summons
I'm feeling
Trophy?
for the kiddies because I'm assuming right now there'll be no headgear or no boots thrown into the audience anymore.
Isn't that a loss?
That is a major loss because we know that contact with high fives, with fan selfies are banned anyway. Now they're going one step further. If Jonathan's got one showpiece, he can't throw it in the crowd.
No boots.
One kiddie will go without this Christmas. No boots.
And we love Queenslanders, Stephen. We always have. We see the quiet.
Have we?
We think
Angus Taylor, one of my favourites. Barnaby Joyce. Who doesn't love them?
Well, they'll both be involved in the opening ceremony at the stadium tonight, as indeed will Bob Catter will have a key role. But Queenslanders are quite Australians. They just want to get on with things. And as Chris Gary from Channel 7 News has reported, bold call from Queensland government who've decided tonight's game is not a risk to public safety. Fans here in Townsville really don't care about COVID-20. They just want to watch the footy. There have been plane loads arriving all day.
Well, look, we can re-quote Gordy.
Yes.
The Raging Bull, right? What was it? You know,
Was it this week
climate change
coronavirus? Last week it was climate change.
COVID-20 this week. Who cares?
I live in Townsville.
Yeah.
There's been climate crisis up there for 40 years.
Viruses since day dawn. I think viruses were here before we were, Chris.
That's an interesting question.
It's an
isn't it?
evolutionary battle we're trying to win. What the hell?
We started with amoeba, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Going back to my high school science.
A little lightning bolt, some sort of physical chemical reaction, and so a single-celled creature. Is that an amoeba or a single-celled creature?
I don't know. I mean, some people read a reference book called the Bible and they think it happens slightly differently.
Right, okay.
But I think that come amoeba, come virus, come bacteria.
Yes.
What's the difference between a virus and what's the other one that you always get? I haven't got a virus. I've got a fever, or what's the other?
Coal bug.
Yeah, I don't know. It's confusing.
Technically speaking, a coal bug. Yeah.
I'm not getting the information. Has your phone lit up with any health warnings yet? When there's a storm coming, I get New South Wales alert, storm, whatever. I had nothing on this COVID-20. No. I don't know what to do.
No.
That's why I'm stuck here with you.
Yeah, exactly. And now our communication channels are shut down virtually, right? Once the internet goes, Chris, we're in trouble. But whilst we've got it, I want to say, what will the experience be like when you came to watch a game when you can't go to the stadium? So on Sunday night, West Tigers versus Dragons, our beloved teams, we can't go there anymore.
Right.
The gong is shut down.
Right.
I would suggest to you that, number one, there'll be a rush on TVs.
Yes.
Yep.
I mean, they're saying it's bad for the economy, but if rugby league remains televised, like people will want to go to the latest plasma gizmo, Ultra 4K HD, COVID-20 style.
Yes.
There'll be COVID-20 style sales going on at JB Hi-Fi, Harvey Norman.
Because nobody wants to go to the shops.
Right.
But they have to.
Right. But what's the problem for Channel 9 and Fox? How do you cover an empty stadium?
Yeah.
So
canned laughter.
Right, yes.
Canned cheers.
Canned noise.
Yeah.
Canned
Music, Chris. Yeah.
Well, they had canned laughter on the Matty John show last night, and he was getting a better reaction than he normally does.
And Industrial Light and Magic to create cheerleaders, What do you reckon? Fireworks?
They're coming to Australia, by the way, Industrial Light and Magic.
Is that right?
Because George Lucas says, when
Chris.
When I sold this company to Disney, I definitely wanted to go into the Australian market. But
didn't you tell me there was once there is a rugby league like horse racing, like it's a virtual horse race that you bet on it? I mean, what sort of fool would do that? Whose idea was that? Peter Volandis. Hello.
I think it's an Xbox game, isn't it? With Bossy doing the call. But the first important thing that Nine and Fox League have to do is how do you cover an empty stadium? So they've gone back to the archives and they've de-archived all the Roosters versus Gold Coast Titans game, and you'll see what rugby league looks like at an empty stadium, right? And then you'll get the better camera angles. So they're ready to go. You've signed up your Foxtel subscription.
Yes, I have.
You're settling down, except I think you'll probably you will be actually able to watch this because it's during FBI's sold out, isn't it? The game.
Every bloody Sunday, Chris. 4 o'clock.
Lucky FBI's Quiet Australia is not recording the same time as FBI Fire Up.
Yes,
94.5
but I can set the
FM.
record button. You know that, Chris.
Friday
There is
morning,
technology for that.
9:20 a.m. So you've set it up, right? So you've got the replay. You're ready to go. But you're saying, had I had my druthers, I would have been at Wynn Stadium, packed in.
Yes.
With the St George Dragons, Illawarra faithful.
You don't think the Dragons and the West Tigers can draw a crowd?
I don't think they can sell out Wynn Stadium in the current environment.
Right.
But you'll go, the crowd experience I would have had I gone down the road to Wollongong, you want to replicate that.
Yes.
How would you do that?
You mean in your home or your bunker?
In your home.
Or your panic room?
Or your
shed?
Yeah.
Or your loft?
Shelter?
Well, first of all, that's why you need the new TV.
Yes.
You need the cabling to sort of get it all up and running.
Terrific.
Obviously, you can't get food unless you're stocked up. So there's going to be a boom in those poor buggers, the Deliveroo bike riders around the world, who are already trying to claim compensation for how come we have to go and deliver you food when you might be sick, and what about us?
Yeah, that's a huge risk, isn't
but
it?
you need them.
Right, we need them.
They're sacrificial lambs.
Uber Eats, the whole bunch.
Sacrificial lambs, full stop. They bring us away. They're going to have to expand their services, Chris, because not only can I know they can provide food, and I'm assuming drink. Can they do grog?
I don't know that they can do that. I think there are some dedicated alcohol delivery services,
Pretzels?
Stephen. I'm, as you know, recovering, so I wouldn't,
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to be
You're
tempted.
not on the grog at the moment.
Well, not
And
at the
you
moment.
call yourself a league man. Powered by grog, Chris. Well, they're going to have to expand their services. Not unlike the Manly entrepreneur that had the escort agency as well.
Yeah, right.
You know, whatever it takes to make a night at home work for up to 10 people only.
You either go vertical or you go horizontal, which we might talk about a bit later in rugby league about the benefits of going horizontal.
Yes. Are you not talking sexually, Chris?
No, I'm not. So you get into other markets and other channels, other
Yes.
distributions.
Yes.
And I think your Deliveroo's, your Menulogs, your Uber Eats, which are coming to the house anyway with food and said drink, maybe not alcohol.
Yeah.
What else could they deliver?
Well, I'm hoping that they might have, and the clubs may follow this with club-themed masks, Chris.
Yes.
So you get your dragon mask. Well, we've done coffins. They're popular.
Yeah.
So this just preempts the course of action.
That's
You go your mask. If that doesn't work, you go into the coffin, right? But you need your club colours because it's going to sell. And date stamp it.
Date stamp.
COVID 20.
That's right.
Collector's item.
That's
If
right.
you live through it.
That's right.
Be like one of those like end of the world sort of films. You go, look what I got. I survived. And there's 100 people going, woohoo.
It's like World War Z or something
Yeah,
like that.
exactly.
Because based on the numbers, there's not going to be many of us left.
No.
Yeah, but if you're able to say to your grandchildren or whatever you're looking forward to in the future,
Yeah.
I survived COVID-20, I'm one of the select few.
And you know what they're going to do? They'll have cockroaches because you paint your own colours. They can crawl around the floor.
And I go, Granddad, that's not true. Show me some proof. And you produce a date
mask.
stamp COVID-20 mask.
Oh my God! On the vintage clothing stores, if there are any left, we'll sell them for thousands of dollars, Chris. Thousands.
But that doesn't seem enough. What else would you do?
Not sure, Chris.
Well, we're needing new employment.
yes,
right?
we are.
So I think what you could do and say is you can bring in a crowd,
yeah, up to 10.
maximum 10, and order your particular experience.
Ah,
So if you're sort of a modern rugby league supporter and concepts like no alcohol areas, family hill, all that rubbish,
yes.
that'd be a fairly sedate
Yes,
crowd.
yes.
But I think Tim Gore, who's been on our Fire Up show, which is on FBI Radio
Yes,
94.5 FM 920 on Fridays, he wrote an article this week about the transition of the rugby league experience as reflected in the NRL ad.
Yeah.
And he said he used to watch rugby league at Seaford Oval in 1982
On a gravel hill.
on a gravel hill with a bunch of pissheads.
Yeah.
Right, yelling at the referees,
Obscenities.
yelling at foul language.
Foul language.
Yeah.
No women or children.
Unsportsmanlike, completely male dominated.
Yep.
You could order Seaford 1982
Yes.
when you want to watch the Raiders. Hello, Dennis Carnahan.
Yes. Now, of course, that all led to violence in the end, didn't it?
Yes,
By the end of the game,
Yeah.
there's going to be a number of fights breaking out.
but
Your experiences, they tally?
unforgettable experience.
Yeah.
I mean,
Look, at the cricket ground, I remember hearing a noise like a whoo, and then someone had thrown the bottle. And you'd all have to go like this with your head, hands on your head.
right, and so the likes of Paul Kent, who've said that the NRL was a miserable. So Paul Kent,
Paul
you
Kent,
may have heard of him.
yeah.
Miserable box ticking exercise.
Where's he boxed up right now? If we're in this bunker, where's he?
He's an Artarman. He's stuck in the bunker there.
Stuck in the Artama.
Yeah,
Oh, wouldn't that be fun?
Yeah, and we got a coaxial cable going between the two, so we can simulcast with him going forward.
Yeah.
Right. What you'll be able to say is, for all those people who lament the way that rugby league was,
Yeah.
where it was a sexist, violent,
Yeah.
racist, abusive game.
Chris, dare I say, I had a great time when I was a kid.
I can't wait.
I don't remember the bad stuff, but I'm sure it was there.
Give me Leichhardt, 1977.
Okay.
And now it's time for the latest instalment of The Life and Times of Gus Gould.
I got barred from being on the field of my son's under-8s team because they kept winning and they figured it was because I was on the field. Well, they thought it was. I wasn't doing anything. I was just making sure everyone got a run. Yeah, they figured I was doing game plans and tactics. wasn't. I just wanted to make sure everyone got a run. The opposition fans weren't happy about it at all. I probably had my mobile phone. I was texting during the game. I wasn't concentrating too much.
And that was the latest instalment of The Life and Times of Gus Gould.
Yeah, Gus was certainly fired up, but do you agree with him?
Hey, Chris, Deliveroo just came back with some headphones.
So,
Woohoo!
Stephen, I tell you what.
We expanded the order.
What a brave soul that was.
Yeah.
And he's heading off now to Western Queensland Stadium to support the Cowboys.
Chris, I don't know. There's a very sad statement I hear very often. I don't know if it's sad to you, but it suggests that perhaps there are more listeners out there that don't care about rugby league. I like Fire Up. I don't like rugby league. You've heard that one.
Yeah,
I don't like rugby league at all, but
yeah,
gee whiz, I like
that's
Fire
right.
Up.
So I don't really like rugby league, but I love Fire Up.
Yeah, some unfortunate news came to light, but there could be well, too light. There could be light at the end of the tunnel with this one, Chris. It says they call them Rugby League novices, meaning they don't know or care for Rugby League whatsoever, have discovered the secret to winning in the NRL. Now, of course, every punter out there goes, "You beauty, let's just get the app out and let's go. What's going on here?" He says, we've got rule changes, tweaks, etc. But Rugby League, these, dare I say, data scientists or data analysts have come up with some facts, some very interesting findings.
Self-declared self-declared data nerds, Stephen.
Yeah.
And
Sydney firm Edge Red.
Yeah. They entered the NRL Data Jam. And let me tell you.
The Data Jam.
For all of us that were there at the Data Jam.
What a ride it was.
What an incredible weekend that was.
They didn't win though, Chris.
It was a lost weekend, I can tell you that much.
Yeah, last weekend, yeah.
No, they came second to Suncorp, that big financial institution which can't have anything but nefarious purposes in mind.
Are they Queenslanders?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Is Angus
quite,
Taylor involved?
Quite Australians. Bob Catter.
Bob Catter, yeah.
And they came up with a play simulator.
Oh, yes.
Which to me is that they just ripped off the Xbox game.
Right.
But
aren't we ahead of that now? Are we talking about this virtual game now? In case the real game does come to a halt?
So it's not a bad idea, is it?
No,
everyone's getting into NRL super coaches and drafts, and they've got a wealth of statistics. So like a producer, Pat, is capturing the game statistics. So you just sort of say, Valentine Holmes, load in the data, hit go, and then his avatar, just watch the whole season.
Bam.
It's not bad.
I can make my team win. Is that right? What you're saying?
Well, you're going to be stuck here for another 6 months.
If I fiddle with the machine a bit.
You're entitled to have a bit of joy if you're stuck here for 6 months, right?
Okay, so Edge Red, it says data scientists from Sydney came second in this, what was it called, a jam?
The NRL Data Jam.
Right, okay. They have come up with one great conclusion. If I could summarise this, no matter how much go forward you have, which of course is the great thing in rugby league, you need lateral movement side to side to win.
Excuse me?
Yes, exactly.
It's all about the go forward. I mean,
it's all about the go
forward. Isn't it impact meters and meters gained and all that sort of stuff?
And they've got the GPS trackers, how they found this data. Aren't we always told that if your half back or your dummy half doesn't run forward, if they run side to side, you hear that the crowd, go forward,
Go forward, you idiot.
You idiot, what are you doing?
Take on the line.
Yeah. Well, no, not according to scientists, Chris. It says here, it's not just the cut-out pass, the crossfield kick, or the Benji Marshall step, early career in brackets.
Oh, come on. That's harsh.
It's across all facets of play on attack and defence. It says teams that run more laterally also happen to be the teams with better win records, says Edge Red co-founder Howard Gu. Howard.
And what's he backing this up with?
Well, especially in situations where the attacking team has a great opportunity to score a try, where the offensive team moved more side to side than the defensive team, they almost had a 300% greater probability of scoring on data, Chris.
Okay.
They assess the data.
So what they're saying is that if a fast attacking player runs around a tight defender, they'll score a try. I'm getting interested. You're getting me engaged on this.
Well, the co-founder, Monica, forgive my Chinese, Lai,
yes,
I think it is, she said most of her team did not have much of an appreciation of rugby league, including herself.
I find that
extraordinary.
Most of the data scientists I know, Stephen, they're mad Manly fans. They love Manly for whatever reason because of their statistical concerns about their media.
It's the Des thing, right?
Media result. Des, mad
scientist, professor.
Yeah. So interesting that these guys
aren't. Who uses a whiteboard?
It's interesting they're not into rugby league. I would have thought data scientists would be all over it.
I'm a huge data nerd.
I'm single.
How many hard drives you got, Monica? In your home. So when I heard about this, I just wanted to put my hands up, get my hands on the GPS data to do some analysis on location. So that got her excited.
Okay, I've got a point I want to make here. This modern mania for information and stats and data and so forth. What about personal privacy, Stephen?
Yes.
Like the rugby league players are forced under their contracts
Cambridge
to strap
Analytics
on this.
You're talking here.
It's evil, right?
Facebook.
One of the things of this COVID-20, there were constant press announcements about high-profile people like Tom Hanks.
Yes.
And one would argue that there's a...
They tracked his movements.
But why does Hanks have to declare to the world that he's sick?
Yeah.
I mean, what happened to patient confidentiality? These doctors are just blabbing away.
And didn't we all just sign up for, what was that, my record, my passport, my Medicare?
I said no about 1,000 times, and I still have all my tax data on MyGov or something.
You see, crisis, rules change straight away.
And would Israel Folau say that the coronavirus is tackling people or applying itself to people who deserve it? And would you say that Hanks is copying it for doing a Baz Luhrmann movie?
Well, if you ask Brett Oden, I think his second favourite movie, is about
Moulin Rouge?
Moulin Rouge. Oh, yeah.
And Hanks is playing. It's an Elvis.
Colonel Tom Parker.
In an Elvis biopic.
And you know what? There's nothing Hanks can't do. We know that. We know that.
It's funny. I would have thought Hanks would play Elvis late period. Around Moody Blue and that sort of
did
came
that well,
way
didn't he?
down.
Yeah.
But no.
God love Elvis. Anyway, they've gone into hiding. They've got shut down. The whole movie shut down a couple of weeks. What isn't shut down, Chris?
It's going to be hard to shut down a Lerman pick because we wouldn't be low budget.
He's a
would
force of nature, that bloke alone.
Yeah.
No virus is going to stop Baz.
Yeah, I reckon Baz would just create his own art, put a big bubble over
Yeah.
wherever they are up on the
Totally.
Gold Coast.
At somebody else's expense, of course.
Yeah, and get on with it. The
Fox.
taxpayers. And get on with it.
Okay, so just to reiterate then, it's not about how fast people run towards the goal line, it's the intricate movements from side to side. So this has got her juices flowing. I think
Sure.
Monica's very excited about this now.
Yes, intricate, rugby league, brutal ballet.
Now, there's a few supporters here. Michael, Madge Maguire, who we love dearly.
We do. We had breakfast with him this year.
Former NRL player Mick Ennis, not a menace, is a menace? Hard to know. Was awarded second place of the day behind a play simulator. Okay, we got that, yeah. Andrew Grave, West Tigers high performance manager, says Edge Red's work was fantastic.
We picked up Andrew Gray from the Sharks. He talked about getting off a sinking ship.
Mate, toxic environment, that one.
Toxic
We're not even
environment.
talking bloody viruses here, right?
To be honest, my understanding is the Shire is exempt from all the coronavirus stuff
Because they've been carrying it for years.
That's right.
Everything.
The immunity
Yeah.
levels. They
Yeah.
tested everyone in the Shire.
It's like when you go to Springfield and they're three-eyed fish in the lake.
That's right.
You know what virus are
They just brush off COVID-20. They say, give us something real over here. We're at the Shire. Come on.
So it says here, it gives you the competitive edge, and of course the West Tigers now think they've got that edge over the Dragons on Sunday, right?
Right, we'll run around you.
Our one goal was to communicate one thing about NRL to people who don't know the sport. Chris Gray agrees. A fresh perspective is often valuable. What they're saying, arguing now, is that those outside the Goldfish Bowl or the bubble of rugby league with no bias can actually assess this information clearly and get a better advantage than those that are in the bubble.
Can I sort of try and summarise what you're saying there?
Yes.
Is someone like Paul Kent says that the NRL ad is a miserable box-ticking exercise.
Miserable.
Because people like Paul don't think outside the box.
no.
Edge Red, thinking outside the box, revolutionises rugby
Because
league. It's a Moneyball situation.
We've been forced in this bunker. Those guys don't get out of that bunker, do they?
No, they
They
don't.
have been in that Fox buddy bunker for, how many years now? 3, 4?
I was going to say, well, that's true. I can and Kent both live there.
Yeah,
You
they
can
do.
tell that. They don't
Yeah.
have cars.
Maddie
like
has
that.
a life, we know
Yeah,
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Though I thought you were going to say the data scientists are the sorts of people who probably bunker down for a couple of years
what
at a time.
behind your flesh? Look at the meltdown those guys have to go through when they leave one bubble to go to another bubble.
Yeah, that's
on
right.
game day. You know. Now it says here, this is the greatest line, Chris. Lai says her enjoyment working with the data has almost made her a rugby league fan. We see an opening here, Chris.
Yeah, well, you may not write rugby league too much, Monica, but you might love Fire Up.
No, that's right. She says also she's adamant some of the game's charms are beyond the reach of data science for now. No matter how mathematical analysis you throw at a problem, you can't 100% pinpoint what's going to happen. Oh, that's a scientist giving up. I've ever heard one.
I'll tell you what, Stephen, let's make the open call. We would love to do a co-branded Fire Up and Edge Red Goes to the Footy.
Ooh.
That would be something.
2 different takes, one with bias, one without.
Can't wait.
Okay. Chris, welcome back.
Well, you say welcome, but I mean,
You've got no choice.
how much oxygen we got in this
No,
joint?
no, check the levels.
It's a little warm, and I'm feeling a little short of breath.
Can people just suddenly, I'm about to say, for those that just tuned in, it's a podcast. It's not a radio show, right?
So it's
Can
time
people just
shift-
tune in?
No, they don't, Stephen. It's time shifting. So it's very hard for us to talk about the world by the time you're listening to this because the world might have changed completely.
Dramatically.
Australia may not be Australia as we know it by
No.
the time this is going
No.
out.
Well, mate, half the country's gone to New Zealand. Am I right there? Now, Chris, I saw a lovely show the other night, and it was a very, very caring specialist show on the ABC about dating on the spectrum.
Oh, yes,
autism,
I've
etc.
seen a bit of that.
Some sweet stuff, some difficult stuff, and you realise the trouble, let alone speed dating, when you're having troubles grasping with, social skills and, too forward, too backward, honesty, unfiltered, all that sort of stuff. But in sport, speed dating could be a winner.
Well, it could be. Now, I think part of the issue with dating is understanding and reading signals, which to me...
In the modern world, it's hard.
Which to me begs the question, have you ever done speed dating?
When you start to tug at a girl's skirt, what's that called again?
That's called Makasivo. Indecent annoyance.
Indecent annoyance.
But
That's a new one.
But it runs the risk of being upgraded to indecent assault with just a click of the fingers.
Yes, exactly.
But have you ever done...
Don't touch the skirt.
Have you ever done speed dating?
Never.
Let me explain the format to you,
okay,
Stephen.
all right.
You've got essentially 2 rows.
Yeah, going around?
Yes, like if you like the old progressive barn dance or something
Yes,
like that.
yes. What
So you might have a row of candidates in a circular lineup, and then inside is another row, and every
they
time the dinger goes off,
Yeah.
which we heard before,
Yeah.
you move
swapping
to the next
now.
thing. So you've got maybe 3 minutes
to sell yourself.
To sell yourself, introduce, see whether there's a spark, see whether there's some chemistry.
Unlike us, do you take turns?
Uh,
Like, I'm going to sell myself, and then you sell yourself and see how we go?
Well, I think some of the people who speed date go, well, it should be a 90 seconds each.
Yeah.
But if the person who opens up sort of doesn't observe that, goes, too much talking, not interested in me.
That might
move
be a
on.
turn off anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Or maybe someone who's a quiet Australian
Yes.
would rather their partner, i.e. Scott Morrison, do the talking for them.
Yeah, because you get 2 quiet Australians. What do you got? Nothing.
Right. Now, sport is always looking to expand its markets, particularly when it's playing to empty stadiums and they're shutting it down.
Yes.
So the Western Sydney Wanderers. Now, this is a sport called football or soccer. I'm not sure if you're
Soccer.
familiar
I've heard of that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
okay. They had a promotional opportunity coming up on the 4th of April.
Did they?
Speed dating
Speed dating.
Right.
For footy players with fans?
for fans. So they say
You don't want to mix the footy players and the fans, do we? That's dangerous territory, right?
because as if going to see the Western Sydney Wanderers at Bankwest Stadium wasn't entertainment enough.
Exactly.
They said, we want to enhance your experience,
Yeah.
pay a few extra shekels,
Yeah.
turn up early, there'll be a few canapes, a few drinks, probably alcoholic,
That's a winner.
right? And the opportunity to speed date.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, things went a little bit...
Do you have to sign some sort of form? No, I don't have a partner. No, I'm not married. Yes, this is my sexual preference. I have no diseases.
This was... Well, I think no.
No, you don't.
No,
You turn up.
you
'Cause
just
you're
turn
all
up.
One big happy family, right?
But here's what happened. The Wanderers spokesman said the club had been specified for heterosexuals only, but it was open that they could host a different night for LGBTQI fans. And they said, from our research, probably having spoken to Edge Red, at the NRL Data Jam, a singles night is often sexual orientation based.
Right.
Right. So I wasn't aware of
gay,
that.
There's no gay speed dating?
Well,
You kidding
well,
me?
I think they're saying there is.
Yeah.
But generally, those events occur discreetly and not combined. Whereas it was interesting in my speed dating experience, I was going in not really sure.
You say cisgender, right?
Yeah, that's right. I was not really sure as to what the orientation of people were. That was part of the interest and the excitement.
Right.
They said it's a consistent theme across these events. We're attempting to give our audience clarity. No one is excluded, so you're welcome to come if you are LGBTQI. But be aware that this is meant to be for heterosexuals only.
That doesn't make sense, Chris. I was about to say, there was rugby league being progressive, inclusive. The very nature of sports being inclusive means you just get what you get.
Right.
We're all in one. We're all in together.
But this is soccer; they're clueless.
Okay.
And as a result,
So here you are, Chris, and up comes Jeremy.
yes.
They don't just put the women on the inside, the men on the outside. For example, my first question.
Well, I think that would have been the Wanderers' plan.
Yes.
But they were
There's no
trying
confusion.
they were trying to make it clear that the people who were in those two queues
Yes.
were.
But
straight.
if a gender fluid or trans or gay person said, "Look, I want to be on that side," who's going to stop them?
Well, I don't think anyone should or could.
There are rules for this.
And the promo was come to the footy,
Mm.
have a great day out, see a tremendous game, and leave with your dream date on your arm.
Yes.
And
That you met at speed dating.
That's right. And if you don't specify the orientation or the preference of the person, you might well leave with a dream date. And you might get a hell of a surprise later on during the night. So,
you mean train spotting Begbie style?
but as in always, Rugby League has the last word about this issue, and who better than Jeff Tuvey to just
Tuvs.
draw a line under this issue?
Tell me.
Honestly, like, there's a big hoo-ha about the 2 girls kissing and anything. Where are the 2 blokes kissing?
Progressive.
Thank you, Tubes.
Or what? Yeah.
Yeah.
And that tone too. It's convincing. Chris, this is interesting because my experience is when I go to footy and I yell, "Get him onside, ref," and all that sort of stuff. The last thing I'm thinking about is dating afterwards.
Is that right?
Is that right? Yeah. I'm not.
That's why they had the dating event before the game.
Before the game, right?
Because
So-
you might choose to then go
Right.
into the general admission because you wouldn't be, you wouldn't ever spin for a
Right.
grandstand ticket.
Right.
Take your dream date.
Yeah.
If we're talking dating,
Yes.
we were talking
Intimacy.
Yes, intimacy
Closeness.
versus isolation. We're isolated.
Touching.
We're not, yeah, right.
Feeling. Hands out, forward. Neil Diamond.
Very much in the news. You might remember that unfortunate ex-lower grade Rabbitohs player who was playing in the English Super League and tested positive.
Deserves whatever he gets, Chris.
Tested positive for cocaine.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yes, I do.
And we
he
talked
came
about
up with
that.
an excuse, didn't he?
He said, I
Legal defence.
was in the company of a young woman that particular evening.
Yes.
We were back at my place.
Oh, that's right. He noticed her sniffing.
He noticed a couple of things.
Trips.
She was very chatty,
Chatty.
and she was going to the bathroom. a
Trips
lot.
to the bathroom.
Right.
Yeah.
And then he found a white powder.
White powder.
Which, until he tested positive, hadn't occurred to him That white powder might have been cocaine.
He thought it was like makeup based.
That's right.
Yeah.
And that she may have been consuming cocaine during the course of the
and just
evening.
generally chatty as by nature.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So when he said, I've tested positive for this recreational drug and was
Yes.
facing a 2-year ban from the Super League, he said, I didn't consume it. I was unaware it was there, but we did make out, we did kiss.
Yes, yes.
Now, the cocaine...
Sounds legitimate to me.
Not according to the Super League, you got a 2-year ban.
Right.
Based on medical evidence.
Right.
But we've got a bit of an update here.
Yes.
James Payton, who's a big Fire Up fan,
Yes.
has let us know that the cocaine kiss defence has been successful in the past.
Whereabouts?
Professional tennis player Richard Gasquet.
Okay.
Right?
Don't know him.
And he said, I was in the company of a young woman.
Yeah.
We kissed during the night. In fact, a lot of the evidence was the same, but there was one thing different between the Super League player and Gasquet and why Gasquet got off.
Oh, yes, tell me.
She was a supermodel. Right. And they go, well, of course. Case closed.
Look, residual,
Can be an issue.
Can be an issue. We're living in a time now where you don't touch anything. Doorknobs, people, railings, anything at all. Chris.
How about a selfie, Stephen?
No, high five? No.
No.
Bump.
Can we-
Bump. Kadoom.
That is it.
Shazam. Okay. Done. Terrific. Now, what about the case of James Seguiaro?
Chico.
Yeah.
Played for a number of clubs. I think
Yes.
played for the Sharks for $1, didn't he, at one stage, Pat?
They certainly know how to test the legal system, though, don't they?
They do. Now, and I'm a bit hazy on the facts because, let's face it, we don't do any research for this show. But I think he might have tested positive for a steroid of some description.
Yes.
Now, ASADA, terrific organisation, ASADA.
What was that phrase again?
Really-
The darkest hour, the blackest time.
The blackest day in Australian
Blackest
sport.
day in Australia. Yeah.
Well, I tell you, if they call off rugby league, that's the blackest day in Australian sport. Anyway, remember David Gallop was just desperately trying to get off the stage. You've been so embarrassed by the whole thing. Anyway, Chico's tested positive for the stimulant, the steroid.
Yeah.
ASADA's investigating. It's been going for 5 months, and Seguiaro's desperate. And he's desperate because he wants a decision, because his defence is that he was in shared accommodation.
Yes.
He had a
God
flatmate.
forbid what happened.
He's provided a statutory declaration from his flatmate
Yeah.
who said, I consume the supplement. I'm not a rugby league player.
Don't tell me he doesn't do the dishes.
And the supplement,
Yes.
Siggy, he loves his smoothies, James, right? The supplement apparently was being prepared into a health drink.
In a blender?
In a blender.
A blender, a glass
And
blender.
So, steroid drink flatmate,
Yes. Sits
smoothie,
there
banana, Seguiaro.
without washing.
And he says, I had nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
Like the cocaine kiss is just residue.
Of course. This is I think, close to reality.
Right, and I think Seguiaro is entitled to an answer.
Yep.
I think ASADA needs to get off their butts and do something about it.
Yeah.
But it does remind me, did you ever live in shared accommodation?
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
I still do in some sort of way.
It's a good way to build up your immune system with the various bugs that float around the building.
Well, particularly if the likes of Newtown or Erskineville or whatever.
Absolutely, yeah.
Again, like the Shire.
They were pits,
The-
dens.
Corona cluster, we'll talk about this maybe in the
Yeah,
next
yeah,
segment, is, at the Hills
Of course, this
District.
wouldn't happen now because everybody would be washing thoroughly,
Well, Isn't hand sanitizer the curse? I mean, apparently hand sanitizer is going to be all over Bankwest Stadium. It just doesn't feel right to me.
No.
But I used to live in Newtown, shared accommodation. We had a blender, and I enjoyed the odd smoothie myself.
Yeah.
Right. And I tell you, I'd make myself a morning smoothie, and I would sail through the day.
Yeah, sail through the day, would you?
Discovered 3 months later that my flatmate was cooking meth in it.
Methamphetamines, of course, without that.
Free James
You don't
Seguiaro.
need to
Free
talk
Chico.
about microdosing. You were getting average dosing, right?
That's right.
Great. We'll be back in a minute.
He may sometimes act like a tool, but Kris Gale's talent can never be questioned.
We're back. Kris.
We're still here.
We're still in the bunker. The Rugby League will not die. It is the great survivor. We know that in the evolutionary history of mankind and bugs, Rugby League will still be played. And it will be played even if to nobody will be there watching it. And we've got the TV set up here for tonight's Townsville game. Yes. The Country Bank of Queensland or some
We
such
must learn
stadium.
that. I know the
Smiles are gone.
I know the other stadium was called 1300 Miles of Smile Stadium.
Took a while, didn't it, though?
I get bedded down. Now I've got to learn it. I think they call it Taylor Oval now or something.
Just called Val Holmes. That'll do us. Now, just on other things, Kris, because I know you have a life outside of this.
I do.
You are an incessant music event goer.
Yes.
Festivals, shows, DJ performances. I believe you've got an international known DJ coming to your house to play soon. Not,
Me.
I've just got to remember. Is it LCD playing at my house? Daft Punk.
No, I.
How can I forget that?
Well,
Who
I tell
have
you
you
what,
got?
if Daft Punk played in your house, you're unlikely to forget it.
No. And they're well protected.
That's right. No, I was going to Coachella, Stephen, and you may not have heard this, but it's been postponed.
I have heard that. I'm
Until
right.
October.
Yeah.
Thankfully, the first 2 weeks of October,
Yeah.
very, very thoughtful. They were originally going to do the second half of September.
Yeah.
I got on the phone to the organisers
Yes.
and I said, come on, grand final,
Yeah.
and they moved it.
They moved it.
So we're having a house party of I think the Easter weekend. I won't give away the address.
Don't the address,
because,
please, no.
you know, but it's in Willoughby. And Hayden James will be playing there.
Hayden James,
And he was going to play
world-renowned
Coachella.
future classic
Yeah,
artist.
exactly.
Yes.
Future classic recording artist Hayden James.
If they're going to cancel Coachella, we're better to go to than Maison Gale, right?
Let's call it Maison Celier and others. So we're bringing
That
in
would be partner.
so it's a bit of an equivalent of having like 10 fans over doing Seaford Oval 1982 or Leichhardt 77. It'll
Doing
be
the banana and the monkey.
It'll
and the
be happening,
chug
and there'll be teepees and beautiful people,
Fantastic.
and experiences
Can we
and
throw a bit of Burning Man in, maybe?
well-being. There'll be a bit of health spas, and you know what will be in every room?
Brad Pitt.
No, hand sanitizer.
Okay.
But you talk about the world of entertainment. We're both part of it.
Yes.
Steve.
What have you seen this week?
Well, last week on the Friday night, I went out and saw at the Enmore Theatre Hot Chip.
Wow.
I was there with producer Pat.
Yes.
I thought had a really good time and was
a really good time.
it was engaging and in the company of others. And he turned to me and he goes, "This is the best live band in the world." and Bernard Zull, who sometimes I agree with, sometimes I disagree
What did he
with.
say?
Dad rock personified. They really.
Dad rock personified.
I think
That's lazy, isn't it, Chris?
I don't know. The hot chip guys are not worried about how they're
Perceived.
looking.
No.
They just put on a cracking show.
That sounds great.
Absolutely cracking show.
Yeah.
So it was tough the next day because I had to do the comparison. I went out to the centre of the Corona cluster and saw Elton John, who I know you're not really taken with Elton John.
Look, I had an experience with Elton John. Can I tell you this?
I'd love to
I
hear
don't
it.
think I'll break any contract because I think we signed with Kerry Packer for a 5-year silence. It could be forever. James Packer's wedding.
Right.
Worked on that.
Well, hang on, which one?
The first one. The biggest event ever in Australian event history, Chris. Private. He enlisted Elton John as entertainment, as you do when you're worth a bundle.
Sure.
Yeah. Big figures were banded around. They built the whole sort of staging setup for him. Elton John, I wouldn't say he's as hubristic as Todd Greenberg is accused of being, or as arrogant, but he decided that nobody could go to the bar while he was performing. Now, you can imagine, you think that top 100 in today's Telegraph, movers and shakers, that's nothing compared to what was at Packer's wedding.
Right.
We're talking about across the country.
Right, Glitterati.
Top leaders from everything. right?
Internationals.
Yeah. You let a bomb off, Australia grinds to a halt.
Trump? See there?
No, he wasn't.
Oh, okay.
So that didn't go down too well, and I was on the wander, I have to say.
So
Yeah.
you were there as well. You were part of the entertainment.
Me and Kate Munro.
Right. Well, I love Kate Monroe.
Hello.
I went to
we
two
were
of
doing
her
tag
parties
teaming
recently.
at the end there because we both wanted to stick. Well, we had to stick around basically. Barnsley wasn't getting paid, but he jumped the stage anyway.
Okay.
Human Nature, of course, were put on the bill.
Wow.
Riveting stuff.
So Elton was in band mode or piano mode?
Yeah, small band.
Right,
Yeah.
okay.
Actually, was he? I think no piano because it was
And-
pretty empty.
And if someone did go to the bar, what happened?
Well, Kerry-Ann Kenley tried. Had a great argument with someone who said no. The big man says no, no, and she kept arguing.
Well, it's funny you should say that because at 26,000 at Bankwest Stadium,
Yeah,
and the
could
same
get a drink.
2 hours 40 minutes, you were not allowed to go to the bar. It really was.
Really? Because during Chisel, bar open all night long.
Well, there you go.
No
That's-
queues.
It's just Elton's
There
consistent.
you go, you see.
And of course, Elton wreaked havoc on Bankwest Stadium. I mean, to get the game ready for last night as we're
When you
recording.
when you dig those platforms out and take them out on that oval,
Well, I was partly responsible.
No good.
Because I went to the bit where Mitchell Moses scored that length of the field try against the Tigers in the stadium opener. I just ripped it up.
Did you just?
Yeah, just scarred it.
I think I saw that slip last night.
Yeah. But I tell you, I mean, I'm not the world's greatest Elton John fan, but there's
He's written some great songs. I do accept that.
And as he points out, it's unusual. Like Bernie Taupin writes the lyrics and then Elton
Very
writes the
unusual.
music too.
It's not what you call credible, is it?
But it's Americana writ large, and when you see it live, and the band was at its strength, and dare I say, the concert took off once he played Rocket Man.
Yes.
And that the band when they jammed, he's an American music artist. He's
Can
not
I just
British.
say that every single English act, all they want is success in America.
Yeah.
From the Beatles even further back, it's all they want. They turn, generally speaking. I mean, the Beatles obviously started imitating as the Stones did, but the Stones got more American. The country stylings.
Well,
all
that was
rest
the
of it.
music that inspired them, the blues.
But then they just want to conquer and be
Yeah.
part of America, don't they?
And Bernie Taupin was just obsessed with the iconography of the Wild West, and it just infuses the music.
Yeah. And Bowie was clever enough to go, let's do Americana, and then let's not.
And you're probably pleased to hear that Nikita was just confined to a little tune during a
Right.
broad piano piece.
Don't go breaking my heart. I don't mind that. It's good.
That
pop.
was the exit music.
There you go.
Yeah,
Out you go.
Kiki D came out of this country a few months ago, and there wasn't enough interest, and they had to cancel.
Oh,
it.
that's sad,
just
isn't
terrible.
it?
But you know what I did? I parked away from Parramatta Leagues Club because we went to Parramatta Leagues Club for a drink beforehand. What a nightmare. If Peter Sterling is listening, Sterlo's Sports Bar, get your name taken off at Sterlo.
Yeah.
There was one bar.
Yeah.
There was a 25-minute queue for a beer. They
Well,
couldn't
how many
cope-
bar stuff? One or two?
Three. One taking the order.
Yeah.
One pouring the beers, and one doing the mixes.
Yeah.
And I mean, the sports bar, they've just thrown up, like an Ali poster from Muhammad Ali and an old baseball poster. But there's not even a picture of Sterlo in Sterlo's Sports Bar. It's a disgrace.
Business model. Look ahead.
Shocking.
How many do you expect to come tonight? Oh, an extra 400 people.
Get
Put your staff on that you're paying lowest dollar.
And forget about the bistro. Like, there was no chance. Anyway, so I parked away from the stadium, Steve.
Right.
You know why? Because I wanted to get
out.
to get to the Civic Underground in time.
The Civic Underground. What a place to... That's not a place I've actually worked at for quite a long while, but...
Except last Saturday.
Yeah. Can you imagine the bizarre... Except last Saturday. How did you know that, Chris? You were there.
I was there.
Wow. What did you see there?
Well, the Ferris brothers and Mark Dynamics came together, and a Ferris nephew?
Nephew, yeah. Cousin's son.
In
Yeah.
a glittering tribute to the
Glittering.
88 to 92 period of house music in Jack the House.
Yeah. Now, short of a mirror ball, we had lasers, we had smoke, and we had strobes. Not bad, eh?
You were fantastic.
Thank you very much.
When you played Yaz and Cold Cut doing The Only Way Is Up.
Yeah.
I thought... Actually,
Not a
that's-
difficult choice, that
I
one.
said that was a good cue for me to go to the upstairs bar, but no, it was absolutely terrific.
Yes.
Pee Wee was there.
Yeah.
John,
yes.
Mark Dynamics, and Ben.
And Ben, that's right. Yeah.
And we were sharing a drink afterwards, and a girl came up to it and said, "I don't want to embarrass you. I saw you supporting AHA in 1985 and Flotsam Jetsam, and I was in love with you at the age of 14."
How can somebody straddle those fields, Chris?
It's incredible.
Amazing stuff. I don't know how. Automatic.
And what have you got coming up, Stephen?
Sorry?
What have you got coming up musically?
Coming up, a lot of stuff. I've got FBI, of course, which is the what do we call it? The mothership.
Yes.
The mothership. I do a show called Sold Out, and we go live at Darlow Bar. Gold coin donation 22nd, which is next. If you can get out of your bunker.
I won't be able to be there because I'll be at West Tigers versus Newcastle Knights. But
What if they don't let you in like they're promising?
No, but it's well, there may not be a game. That's a good point.
That's true.
Maybe you won't be on. No,
Maybe.
hang on. It's gatherings of more than 100. You'll be fine.
I'll be fine.
But I've seen you there. My friends Jay Katz and Miss Death used to do Viva La Vinyl there.
Yes,
They've
they
moved on.
to Kinsellas.
Straight into Kinsellas. Fantastic.
Yes,
Seductive sound.
straight
So
in,
that's great
yeah,
news. But
yeah.
Sold Out is a great event.
Yes. We've got MC Mirror,
Right?
who works with Elfresh the Lion and others.
Oh, Elfresh the Line. My daughter
Yeah.
produced one of his videos.
Wow, there you go.
Yeah.
Well, Mirror's great talent, and DJ Sunny will be my guest.
That sounds great.
And I think, I'm doing it the week after. I've been asked to join a night at the Gladstone called. It's to celebrate the music of Mancuso, who was one of the great Italian DJs in New York City.
Yes.
Famous for the Loft.
The Loft.
The idea is quality sound.
David Mancuso.
Yeah, that's right. Beautiful sort of what I would call classic dance music, disco. Doing a spot there.
Can I come along?
You can come along.
You can come to the house party.
Okay.
You and I have never DJed together.
Do it together then.
With future classic recording artist Hayden
Bump.
James. And for completeness sake, tonight I'm off to the Darkness, hopefully, at the Enmore.
At the Enmore? The Darkness, the band, not South Sydney.
Yeah, their latest album called...
the Roosters.
Their latest album is called Pinewood Smiles.
I love the Darkness.
Probably the standout track is called Rack of Glam.
Rack of Glam is the
for the
killer
Rack of
title, isn't
Glam.
it? Yeah.
And
Not
tomorrow
Rack of Lamb.
tomorrow night, believe it or not, co-creator of Live Aid, Midjure,
Really?
Metro Theatre.
What tracks? Any Ultravox?
They're actually doing, because he was in bands like Slick and
Yes.
Thin Lizzy, and then when John Fox left Ultravox after three
stepped in.
albums, after Systems of Romance, all three
He's,
Ultravox
he's had a
albums are
career,
great.
hasn't he?
Midge comes in, first album they do, Vienna,
Yeah, no.
and they're going to do it start to finish. Sleepwalk, all that stuff. And
Really share the same drum pattern as You're the Voice, doesn't it?
is that right? And you know what, Stephen? It'll be a great night, but it means nothing to me.
There'll be plenty of smoke, though.
That'd be
And
great.
billowing curtains. And one last thing, I think one of our media team have come up with. Anthony Mundine's got the final word. This whole COVID-20, big pharma.
You're referring to Nick? Yeah. He and Chock are mates.
Yeah.
And what do you think? Do you think that what we are in right now is a big pharma conspiracy?
Yeah, without doubt, Chris.
Let's get out
Someone's
of this.
making some bucks here.
Let's get out of the
All
bunker,
right.
Stephen.
Let's go quiet.
See you
Into the
later.
night.
Bye-bye.